This question comes from Simply Exhausted in Southfield. They are simply exhausted. Let's see what over. Simply Exhausted writes in and says, my ex-wife passed away in August. I am so sorry.
Sorry.
According to the divorce decree in 2017, she was supposed to release her rights to our home, and she never did. I lived in the home and I am on the mortgage. I am also on deed with her, still as 50% owner. I want to sell the home, but the title agent said that I have to get her to sign off. However, she's passed away. We have an underage daughter together and we need this house. So what do I do? From Simply Exhausted in Southfield.
Yeah, and first of all, I'm sorry for that, for the ex-spouse passing away. This is a perfect example, Blair, of how probate and real estate and divorce intersect, right?
Mhm.
Guy's got a probate issue, I would call it a divorce / family law issue that is really easily to rectify, and then has a real estate issue. So, okay, let's start with real estate issue. Real estate issue, they're divorced. So most likely, hopefully there's a divorce decree that somebody can find, but the divorce decree will say that a joint tenancy, which is when they're together, and they held it together, and if one person died, the other spouse would get it automatically. But usually in a divorce decree, once the divorce occurs, they're no longer husband and wife. So they're no longer what we call tenancy by the entireties. That means they don't hold the property joint with right of survivorship. They're now tenants in common, which means they each have a 50-50 interest in the property. When she dies, she has her own estate. So she's not married to him anymore. She has her own estate.
Mm-hmm.
If she has a mother or father and she died without a will, they may have an interest in this property.
Mm.
And that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, I know that's probate and deeds.
Yes.
Okay. The real estate is they're joint owners. I mean, some courts may say that they're joint owners. They're not tenants in common. They hold the property jointly. My interpretation is that they each have a 50-50% interest in the whole, and they can sell out their share at their own leisure. Now, here's the thing. What does the divorce decree say? So now we get into divorce and family law. Give me a copy of the divorce decree. Hopefully, these parties had a divorce attorney who hopefully wrote down certain provisions properly. Sometimes they don't, because these attorneys are in a rush to get the parties out of the courtroom when they're doing a divorce. But in that divorce decree, it hopefully says something to the effect of, ex-wife needs to sign over the deed within so many days of the divorce. And if they don't, we get to file this divorce decree, and that acts as a deed unto itself.
Okay.
Okay. That's a really, that's a blessing. That provision is a blessing for people. Okay. If it's not in there, this is what I would do. Thank God he mentions that he has a daughter. Okay, he is actually the guardian of his daughter. It's his daughter or their daughter. She has an interest in her mother's estate. He's divorced. He has no interest in her estate anymore. The daughter, he can probate the estate with the daughter as a minor. He would be the person who would be the personal representative. They would probate the estate, and that interest goes to the daughter. And he's the personal representative, and in some way, shape, or form, they will be able to write a deed back to the father to basically make the 50-50 whole again.
Now whole again. Okay.
That's one way. That's a probate action.
Mm-hmm.
The other way is, again, the divorce decree. Let's see it. Maybe it's as simple as filing and recording the divorce decree. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't have to go to probate. The other way is that he'd have to go to circuit court and quiet the title if it's not done properly. But really, meaning if the divorce decree wasn't written properly, but most likely it's going to be in probate court.
Okay.
That's how the deed gets conveyed back into his name, maybe for the benefit of his daughter. So yes, it's a cluster. But you see during this time, I think we've had several deaths. Like there were questions on, there was another one, I think, earlier tonight.
Yeah.
And we're seeing so many of those, again, probate and real estate. Probate and real estate is much more active in our office right now because
of the times,
of the pandemic and the times, and people aren't, people's biggest asset is their real estate. And if they don't have an estate plan, if they, if something unusual happens and the death, it's not planned for, the estate plan is not providing for distribution of assets, well, then you're going to have to go to probate.
Yep. Wow. Well, that is.
It looks like a round robin. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. It's just this is. I can just is empathize the right way? I believe it's empathy, not sympathy. I can empathize, but just understanding like how exhausting this would be.
Right. That part. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Most people. Yeah, most people, Blair, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
no,
the reason why you get those frustrated and exhausted, because these things, like these are things that people aren't expecting. They weren't planning for it, right? It comes out of nowhere. They're not, and a lot of times people are, it's not just frustrated, like when we're talking to clients that call or potential clients that call, they're downright angry. And they shouldn't be angry with us. But they don't, these laws control their assets, and there may be a fact pattern that arises that they have no control over, but then that's how, the law applies to that fact pattern. And so now they're forced to confront and deal with a legal issue that they weren't planning for. Right. It's very hard. It can be very disappointing. And sometimes, in this situation, I hope that nobody's fighting over that property, right? Like his ex-in-laws.
Sure.
But there are certain variables that come up that we can't predict in these cases. And then you're shocked on how things unfold, like organically evolve into like complete clusters. So I hope they do okay. I hope if they don't have anybody to consult with, they should definitely give us a call. I think they did already, because they asked the question. So I think they'll be in probate, Blair. That's
okay. All right. Well, Simply Exhausted, we are sorry for your situation, but it certainly does not look hopeless. It seems like there are several different avenues that you could go down. Some are more simple and some are less simple.
Well spoken, Blair.
All right.
All right.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who watches these videos. Just real quick disclaimer, David and I do these late at night. We're busy people, but we make time for you guys at the end of the day, at the end of the evening. And so sometimes we get a little loopy and sometimes we get a little tired ourselves, but we do appreciate you watching. And I just want to mention, if you are watching David's videos on a platform that is not YouTube, go to YouTube, find his channel, just type into the search engine, David Sobel, Sobel Law, Proven Resource. You will see his entire channel pop up, a plethora of information. Make sure you like his content, make sure you subscribe, share his videos on the Facebook and the Twitter, or if you're a Snapchatter, however that works, I don't know.
Right. I don't know if there's Snapchat anymore, but we'd really appreciate if you share the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. I will tell you, Blair, that we are getting a lot of traction on the videos because more and more people are putting in their comments and asking, great questions, some really good questions.
Excellent.
And so, yeah, it's been very enjoyable to do. So I appreciate you, Blair.
Yes. Yep. I just read the questions and you bring all the knowledge and wisdom. So we definitely appreciate that as well. But before we sign off, David, if anyone has their own question and they would like to reach out to you, how can they speak to you?
You go to 888-789-1715. Or you can go just type in my name. Sobel is spelled S-O-B-L-E, David Sobel, and just put in the URL. I should definitely pop up. as a, real estate attorney in Michigan and in Ohio. I think there's a David Sobel who actually is an entertainment agent out of Arizona. Don't click on him, but
Don't call him.
don't call him. But other than that, Proven Resource is the other way to reach us, and we're always happy to help. One more way, you can text the word Proven, PROVEN, into, I think, 36260.
Okay.
So text Proven to 36260, and you will get a real estate and finance legal app, which is pretty extensive as well. You've seen that, right, Blair?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, fantastic.
That's it.
All right. Well,
Great.
thank you, David.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone who's been
right.
watching. We appreciate it. Everyone have a great night.
Have a good night. Bye.